Sending extra principal payments against your mortgage is not the fastest way to pay off your mortgage. In this episode, I'm going to address the question that I've answered numerous times in different ways: how to pay off your mortgage faster. It's not what you think. I'm Doug Andrew, and I've been teaching people about how to optimize their assets and minimize taxes and get their house or their real estate paid off the quickest, smartest way now for more than 46 years. I've written several books about it, but it's not what you probably think. I'm here in my radio studio, and I've had a weekly radio show now that's broadcast nationally for 12 years. Prior to that, for 35 years, I helped my own clients get out of debt the quickest, smartest, fastest way, and it was not any way, shape, or form sending extra principal payments to the mortgage company, as I'm going to share with you. But as I began to teach this from 2001 to 2007, I had 4 best-selling books. One became a New York Times, Wall Street Journal #1 bestseller. My books are over here, some of them. But I'm going to allow you the opportunity in this episode to click at the link down below and get a copy of my most recent best-selling book that retails for $20. You contribute $5.95 towards the shipping and handling, and I will pay for the book and send one out to you free. It's 300 pages of information, but there is a chapter in there that addresses exactly what I'm talking about right now. But if you want to know and understand, here we go. You know, a lot of times there are all kinds of ways and ideas that people tout how to get out of debt or pay off your mortgage magically 10 years earlier, or 15 years, or in 12 years. And every one of them seems to talk about sending extra principal payments to the mortgage company. So let's talk about various ways that people sort of get duped into doing that. So let me share with you a story. I met one day with 3 finance professors years ago at a major university, and they said, "Mr. Andrew, we teach all of our advanced finance students here at the university why when they go out and they purchase their first home, why they should take out a 15-year amortized mortgage if they can afford the payment rather than a 30-year amortized mortgage." I said, "Really? Why do you do that?" And they looked at me like, well, duh. Maybe they meant Doug, I don't know. They said, if you just bite the bullet and pay a higher mortgage payment, you will save yourself a grundle of interest. You'll have your house paid off in 15 years instead of 30 years, and then you can begin to sock away the same amount of money into an investment like a tax-deferred IRA or 401k. I said, gentlemen, they were 3 men. I said, gentlemen, you're finance professors. Haven't you ever taken the differential between a 15-year amortized mortgage payment, which is higher, and a 30-year mortgage payment, which is lower, taken that differential plus the tax savings you will achieve on a 30-year mortgage, especially the first 15 years of a 30-year mortgage versus the 15-year mortgage, and with a system socked away that differential over into an account compounding tax-free? Well, right off the bat, they go, "What's tax-free?" So I had to educate them on my favorite vehicle where I've accumulated, accessed, and transferred my money tax-free for 46 years. I call it the Laser Fund. It is a max-funded, tax-advantaged insurance contract where I have earned rates of return averaging between 6 to 10%. Many years I've earned as high as 16 and even 25% and more. But I've averaged the last 25 years 10.07%. But even if I only earned 6% tax-free, it is twice as much as I'm paying net on my mortgage. They said, never heard of that. I wasn't surprised. But they said, no, we've never done that math. I go, I thought so. So I took out my HP 11C calculator, and right in front of them, I did the calculation. And I said, look, they were flabbergasted. By taking the money, they were telling their students to pay in a higher mortgage payment, a 15-year mortgage. Now, it could be a 15-year mortgage, or you just send extra principal payments to the mortgage company. I don't care what method you're using. Instead of doing that, you take that money and put it over here in this pocket, and you're earning compound interest tax-free. This pocket is the simple interest, a declining balance tax deductible on the mortgage. Don't kill your tax deduction. Every time you send extra principal payments to the mortgage company, it's like saying, hey, here, Mr. Mortgage Banker, is an extra $100 this month. Now, don't pay me any interest on that. If I want that back, I'll borrow it back on your terms and prove there's a need why I should have it. Now, when I word it that way, it sounds pretty stupid, doesn't it? Well, see, that's what's happening. You're not accomplishing anything because the amount of money you put into the house, equity earns a 0% rate of return. It doesn't matter if your house is mortgaged to the hilt or free and clear, it's going to go up or down in value based upon the real estate market. It has nothing to do with how much equity is in there. When I separate my equity or keep it separated, I give it the ability to earn a rate of return. And I can earn predictably 6, 7, 8, 10% compound interest over here in my right-hand pocket. This is in the laser fund that I'm talking about. And the mortgage, which is maybe 6% tax deductible, is only really 4% in my 33% tax bracket because I can tax deduct the interest. If I borrow at 4.5%, in a 33% bracket, it's only costing me 3. If I borrow at 3%, which I've done on many real estate properties, it's tax deductible. It only costs me a net of 2%. So let me just cut to the chase. Every $1 million of real estate equity that is not tied up in the property, I have it over here in what I call my laser fund that you can learn about. I am compounding and earning a 9 or 10, let's say 9. So I'm earning 9% compound interest tax-free. Over here, I am paying 4.5, a net of 3, or I'm paying 3, a net of 2, because I'm tax deducting the interest. How much more is 9 than 3? How much more is 9 or 10 than 2? It's 300%. It's 500%. It's 5 times more money. Again, would you hire an employee for $20,000 or $30,000 if that employee made you an extra $90,000 or $100,000? If you do the math, the money you would be tempted to pay to the mortgage company to pay off your house, if you put it over here in this side fund, it will actually compound and grow to enough that these finance professors, they were flabbergasted. There was enough money in 12.5 years to pay off the 30-year mortgage 2.5 years faster than the 15-year mortgage. And we actually redirected in the illustration $50,000 of otherwise payable tax to causes they support. In other words, I was able to use a lot of Uncle Sam's money to get out of debt 2.5 years faster. But if I get sick, if I get laid off, if I get disabled, and I have my money over here in this liquid side fund, I can access it with a phone call. If it's trapped in the property, if I pay off the property, there's only one way to get my money out of there. That's sell it. And if the real estate market is really bad, I'm going to lose. And if I pay it in extra principal payments, I have to borrow it back. And when you need the money the worst, it's the hardest to get because you can't qualify for the mortgage if you're hurting. And so I keep my real estate equity separated for liquidity safety, and I actually get out of debt faster than giving it to the mortgage company. But you know what? When I have enough money in my right-hand pocket that I can pay it off 2.5, 3 years faster, I physically don't do it. Why would I kill an employee? Why would I fire an employee that's making me 100 to 500% more than they're costing me? When I do that, I can prove to you in this book mathematically that you'll end up with 1.8 million more money. At the end of 30, 35 years, you'll have maybe 3.2 million more dollars in your side fund by not physically paying off the mortgage, because anytime you want, you make a phone call, you can take the money out of here and pay off the mortgage. So my mortgage is paid off in 10 years, in 12 years, actually faster than giving it to the mortgage company anytime I want to. But when I don't physically do that, it continues to compound at 100, 200, 300% more than the cost of the funds. It's up to you. If your goal is to get out of debt, I can get you out of debt much faster than giving it to the mortgage company. But if you want to continue to make more than the cost of the funds, this is how banks make money. They pay us low interest and they loan it back out and earn higher interest. This is what makes the world go round. This is the parable of the talents in the Bible, Matthew 25. When you understand this, you'll begin to understand how wealth is created. And this is what makes the world go round. And you'll be able to end up with millions of extra dollars rather than just paying off the house. In other words, I sleep way better at night with my house mortgaged and the equity that I could pay off the house separated over here, compounding tax-free, because anytime I want, I can take the money out of here and pay off the house. On my balance sheet, it is paid off. This asset will wash out this liability that fast anytime I want. But this is continuing to grow way faster than if I take this asset and pour it over here and it earns zero. Because equity in real estate earns a zero rate of return in the property. It's going to go up or down in value regardless of whether I pay it off or whether it's mortgaged to the hilt. Does that make sense? If this is arousing curiosity, I want you to learn more. Dive into this book. Watch some of my other YouTube channel videos on this topic, how to become your own banker. But again, claim your free copy of this 300-page book. It retails for $20. But if you simply go to laserfund.com and contribute $5.95 towards the shipping and handling, because it costs a little bit more than that usually, I'll pay for the book and fire it out to you. And there's options in there if you like to listen and learn or watch and learn. But as you begin to understand this concept and somebody asks you, hey, how are you paying off your house the fastest way? You'll blow them away when you educate them on how money really works.